Today I'm going to share with you a foolproof step-by-step method that you can use to accomplish your goals, motivate you towards working towards them, and taking actionable steps towards any dream or ambition that you have for yourself.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, let's wait.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Lexi and I make new videos every Wednesday to help you live a fulfilling life and grow into the best version of yourself. So the method that I'm going to be sharing with you today is something that I kind of brainstormed earlier this month, and I've been using it all of July to help me go after my goals and actually take steps towards them. And I've broken it down into a step-by-step process that you can use and that you can adapt in your own way to use towards your goals and in any way that is helpful or useful for you. You can use this for new habits, or you can use it for a dream that is far in the future and that you need to take steps towards today to get yourself in a comfortable position to grow and become the person that you need to be to achieve that goal. Once I put this into place, I saw dramatic results in a very short amount of time. The only supplies that you're going to need for this process is paper or sticky notes, a pen, 2 glass jars or just 2 cups, and paper clips, or I use little ceramic tiles because I think they're cute. Those are the only supplies you need. For reference, I have about roughly 44 tiles in the jars. The first step in this process is actually setting the goals that you want to work towards. You can't put this into place if you don't have a solid goal in mind for yourself, and you need to have a clear image in your mind for what you're using this process toward. It doesn't have to be a numerical goal. I know a lot of times it's best to create a quantitative goal because then it's easier to measure and track your progress towards. But what's great about this is you don't necessarily have to have a quantitative goal that you're working towards. It works just the same. For example, one of my goals was I want to get back into running. I want to run more frequently. So where we'll get more specific down the line is in the steps and the tasks. But the first step is creating the actual goals. To start, you're going to make a list of 4 to 5 goals. You can actually do less than 4 to 5, but I definitely recommend doing multiple. Stick around the 3 to 5 range. Do not exceed 5. You want this to be attainable and you want it to be realistic. And the other important step is keeping in mind a timeline for these goals. I believe that the best way to do this is either set 3-month goals or 6-month goals. For me, it made more sense to set 6-month goals because even if it takes me less than 6 months to achieve them, I am not being unrealistic in the amount of time that it's going to take for me to achieve the things that I'm working towards. So if I only gave myself 3 months to get done these 5 goals, it might feel like I'm rushing, it might feel like there's a time crunch, and it can become very stressful. Probably the golden standard for this is to set goals in mind for 6 months. So at the top of your page, write 6-month goals, or whatever timeline you chose. List out each of the goals that you've decided that you want to work towards. What I did is I numbered them 1 through 5 and just put each goal next to it. It needs to be specific enough, at least in your mind, that you know exactly what you're working towards and you'll know when you've achieved that goal. So a quick breakdown of the first step for those of you taking notes, which I actually do recommend, or you can actually start this process right now if you get out a piece of paper, start writing down your goals, pause this video, take time to really think about it. So step by step, first is having a timeline for your goals, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, a year. Just make sure that you know roughly how long that these goals are going to take. Second is setting 4 to 5 goals for you to achieve in this time. Third is making sure that these goals are attainable in this timeline. Be realistic with yourself. Don't underestimate your abilities, but don't push yourself to this limit that is just not attainable. And finally, be specific enough that at least you understand exactly what it is you're working towards, so you'll know when you've actually achieved this goal, and when you get to the end of it, it doesn't feel uncertain whether or not you've actually accomplished it. Okay, now that you have your goals in place, that takes me to step 2. Step 2 is breaking down your goals into daily tasks. For example, if you have 5 goals, you are going to create 5 daily tasks, 1 for each goal. Here's how you're going to do this. The morning or the night before, sit down and write down 1 task per goal. So that will come out to about 3 to 5 tasks per day, on top of whatever it is you're working on if you have work, school. But you're going to make sure that you commit to doing these 3 to 5 things on top of that. You're probably going to have other work to do. Keep these tasks small. We're making sure that we actually take time to to work towards our goals a little bit each day, chipping away at them, instead of just letting them lay on the wayside because you feel like you have to take these big strides towards them whenever you work on them. Where progress actually happens is in little steps. So this is how we're creating the little steps that you can actually do, and this process is going to keep you held accountable to actually doing them. So sit down, think of a little way that you can work towards whatever goal that it is. I do this using my typewriter because I think that the best way to do this is to romanticize the process, and the typewriter was my great-grandma's. I find any excuse to use it. Every night I sit down, I look at my list of goals, and I line up a task with each goal that I know will help me work towards that goal. I know it's getting something done, and I can feel good about that. It's crucial here that you do not bite off more than you can chew. I'm going to show you an example of a goal and then a task item that aligns with that goal that is probably a little bit too much for just one day, and then I'm going to show you a way to break it down and make it a little bit smaller and easier to achieve. One simple example of this, if you have a goal to read a book every month for these 6 months and you make your daily task reading half of a book, it could be a little bit unrealistic. So break it down, and on your list, instead of saying I'm going to read 10 chapters, you're instead reading 10 pages. Make the tasks actionable and make them efficient. Taking small steps is better and more rewarding than taking no action at all and staying stagnant where you already are. I would just like to take a moment to thank you for subscribing. It really means the world to me. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. You're more than welcome to join my little YouTube family, and it really helps my channel grow and to reach more people. And if you're finding this helpful and know someone else that this might help, please share it with them. Maybe it'll help them out, and if it does, let me know. Okay, step 3. Step 3 is tracking your progress and habit tracking. This is actually something that I've adopted from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. I used this method when I was first trying to make sure that I stuck to working out every single day, and it really helped me out. So then I decided to start using it in other areas of my life, and then that is what brought me to bringing it into this goal process. In the book, the author used the example of a really young sales executive, I believe it was. It was just somebody working in a corporation, and they had a jar of paper clips on their desk and then an empty jar on the other side. And I think there was about 100 paper clips in the jar or so. And every single day, they made it their goal and their initiative to make that amount of calls every single day. Every time they would make a call, they would move a paper clip over to the other jar, and they would only stop their workday once every single paper clip was moved over to the other jar. And that was how they made it a habit for themselves to make a certain amount of calls and to be more efficient and effective in their work. It got them ahead of a lot of other people in the business, and they started to see so much growth and be so much more successful than they were previously. This is where the jar and the tiles comes in. As you accomplish one of the tasks, you take a tile from one jar and you move it to the other. This not only gives you the satisfaction of seeing your work pile up over time, but it helps you not to forget the progress that you're making. And it also will help incentivize you to continue working towards your goal, because at the end, when the jar is full, there's a reward system set in place that I'm going to explain in step 4. You're physically seeing the progress, even if you aren't actually seeing the progress in your goals yet. You might put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and it doesn't feel like you're making any progress. You might work on your fitness, for example, every day working out, and you're just really not feeling or seeing the difference yet, but you see those tiles piling up and you know you're putting in the work. That is going to keep you on the right track and keep you motivated to keep going. Even though you might not see your goal coming into fruition yet, you know that you're still making progress and you're not going backwards. Your tiles, your paper clips, are a physical reminder to you that progress is being made and you're growing. You just don't see it yet. In gardening, you plant a seed and you take care of that seed every single day because you know that one day it's going to grow into the plant or the flower that it's supposed to be and that you want it to be. But that's not a process that you can rush. We don't try to rush a seed into growing, and it's the same way with your goals. They are going to happen in the timeline that they're going to happen. You can't rush that process. If anything, you're just going to get burned out. You need to be patient, actually seeing everything that you're doing to nurture the ambition that you have. You'll know that you're doing everything that you need to do, and that is going to be enough. Overall, it's just going to help you have a really positive and a really healthy mindset. So a quick little summary of steps 2 and 3. Step 2 is writing out a task list for daily tasks that are in line with the goals that you have. And step 3 is tracking the progress that you're making with those daily tasks and moving one item from one jar to another as you accomplish each task. Now step 4, the part that you're probably going to be the most excited about, is the reward system. Once every tile is moved from one jar to the other, you are allowed to finally reward yourself with the reward that you have predetermined and already set in place for you to look forward to. The way I do this is I take a sticky note and I write the reward that I have for myself, and then I take another sticky note that I put on top and I put it under the jars so I can't really see it. I don't think about that specific reward every day, out of sight, out of mind, but I know that once those tiles get over to the other jar, I'm going to be rewarded and I'm going to get something that I've been looking forward to. Whatever is worth it for you is a good enough reward. Another example could be going to the beach for a day, going out to lunch with your friend. You're actually taking time out of the day for yourself to do something for yourself. Be a movie night, something you don't have to pay for, it's just an experience. It's something that feels like you're really rewarding yourself for all of the work that you've been putting into your life and your future. Once that jar is full, immediately give yourself the reward. I often find myself putting off rewards. That kind of hinders the task reward incentive. Connect that reward in your brain with the work that you're doing. You want to create that connection in your brain that, oh, okay, when I do this work, something good's gonna happen. Not only neurologically is that going to create this habit path, but it's just going to help you trust yourself and know, okay, I said I'm going to give myself this reward and I did that. Once that last tile is in that jar, either go get that reward, go to the beach the very next day, or plan, I know that I'm going to be done on this day, I'm going to the beach, I'm going to lunch that day. After the jar is full, empty them back into the original jar and you're going to start the process all over again. Write a new reward, put it under the jars, and you're continuing the cycle. You're not putting a break in it where you have to get re-motivated to start again. It's going to be a smooth running process that can help propel you through your life. Now at first it's going to feel a little bit like you're kind of caught up in the process. You're not actually seeing the goals that you're working towards coming to life, but over time, those goals that you're working towards, the actions that you're taking, they're going to start building off of each other, and then the goals that you're most passionate about are actually going to start becoming a reality. That is the importance of small, attainable action instead of being passive and waiting for things to happen, or only taking big steps every 6 months. Because it takes longer for those big steps to build, and you lose all of the motivation, all of the momentum that you had after doing that big task in this huge gap of time where you're not doing anything. So small, attainable, gradual progress is key. I would like everyone to comment below what you want your first reward to be. Make it something that you actually want. Maybe this can give other people ideas. Maybe it can give me ideas for my future rewards. And it should be something that you actually want, but remember to keep it reasonable, to not go crazy, but make it fun. Make this whole process fun and make it rewarding in the short term, even though you're working on long-term goals where you might not actually see the progress and get that fulfilling feeling right away. Treat yourself and share with me your ideas. Once the time period is over that you've originally predetermined for yourself, 3 months, 6 months, whatever that may be, you assess whether or not you've achieved each of those goals. Maybe some of the goals you've already achieved and they took you less time than you thought, and maybe you got to the 6 months and realized, okay, this is a bigger task than I originally imagined it to be. And a lot of that is because we envision how long we think it's going to take, but we're not actually working towards it. And so once we work towards it, there was more to it than we thought. So don't be hard on yourself if a goal takes longer than you thought it would. That's really a normal experience. You are making sure that you're setting yourself up for long-term success instead of just half-assing it and then in the future it comes back to bite you because you took a shortcut, you skipped steps for what it was that you should have done in the first place. So don't put too much pressure on the actual timeline, but when you get to the end of that timeline, be honest with yourself. Did I achieve this goal yet? And if you didn't, add it to your next 6-month goals. Make it one of your 3 to 5 goals because it's still important to you and you've done all of this work towards it, it might just take a little bit longer, and that is okay. Now you might have a better idea of how long things are actually going to take. Don't be hard on yourself. I like to think of it this way. It might be taking me longer than I originally thought, but the alternative is not doing anything. The alternative is not doing any work towards the things that I really want. And in my mind, a better reality is putting in the work and it taking a little bit longer than I thought. Because if I'm not doing anything, it's probably never going to happen. It's all a part of experiencing and learning new things and growing into a better, more experienced, more intelligent version of yourself. Okay, some final closing thoughts. I think it's really important to romanticize the process, to make it feel really special. You want to make sure that you're being present, because if you start rushing things and you become a little bit detached from your own progress, you want to make sure that you're present for every part of the journey. Let yourself feel your successes. Let them be real. Don't discount anything that you're doing. It is all important. Oh, another reward that you can do for yourself is giving yourself flowers. I love making flower bouquets. You're romanticizing your reward as well, because you're picking off the little leaves, you're putting your reward together, and then you get to look at it for the next week or two. It's a reward that just kind of keeps on giving. So really romanticize the process. I think that is actually really crucial when you're working towards accomplishments. As people always say, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. If you make the journey really special and you are very present in the journey, then once you accomplish your goal, you'll have enjoyed the whole journey. Really relish in your own accomplishment. There's no part of your life that is unimportant. Change it up, keep things interesting, nothing's set in stone. If you create a daily task for one of the days and then you get to that day and you're like, actually, I want to work on this towards my goal today, just change it. Nothing is set in stone. Life is not a to-do list and it's not a plan. Let it change. Just make sure that you are still working in the right direction. If the idea of going after your goals or your dreams is still scary to you, watch this video next. I think it'll really help you out. And there's actually another video that I link at the end of that one that gives you some affirmations to help you get over the fear of your own dreams. Please give this video a like if you found it helpful and you're excited and ready to integrate this to start working towards your goals and your ambitions. This should be really exciting. It's a very beautiful process. I don't think I will ever stop using this in my life, and I hope that you love it as much as I do. And if there's any part of this that you don't really connect with, just use this as a blueprint and make it your own. Have an amazing and fulfilling day full of accomplishments and taking action. Remember, you can do anything. Peace.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, let's wait. I've been going big on the bigs out of state. Do research, check out the back of my plates. I rep so heavy, attack when I take.